Good evening, everyone, and welcome into an all-new edition of the Milford Informer. As always, I am your host, Tim Coet. Excitement is brewing amongst sports fans here in Milford for a number of reasons. Of course, we're all eagerly awaiting yet another appearance in the Super Bowl for the New England Patriots. And locally, the countdown is officially on for one highly talented Milford athlete to reach a unique milestone. While we may have to wait a little bit longer to cheer on the Pats in the big game, we do have a full Milford basketball update coming up for you. Here are the details on that and more as we present tonight's top stories rundown. Tonight, we sit down with Milford Superintendent Dr. Kevin McIntyre and EL Program Director Jen Nurjanian to discuss some exciting news related to the school's EL program. Then later in sports, we have a jam-packed Milford basketball update. First, we'll take a look back on last Friday's important division matchup for the boys' team against Sharon. And then we'll recap the week in girls basketball, and we will also update you on Kate Irwin's quest for 1,000 career points. Last month, the Milford Public Schools announced that Milford, along with two other Massachusetts school districts, has been awarded a very special grant from the U.S. Department of Education that will have a major positive impact on both the teachers and students within the Milford schools. In order to share all of the details on this grant, I was happy to be joined earlier this week by Superintendent Dr. Kevin McIntyre, as well as EL Program Director Jen Nurjanian. And we are so happy to be joined on the Milford Informer this week by two representatives of the Milford schools. Of course, we have Superintendent Dr. Kevin McIntyre joining us. We also have EL Program Director Jen Nurjanian joining us. First of all, thank you guys so much for being here this week.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
So the topic on hand for this week, a really exciting opportunity. It was first announced in a press release last month, but really starting to get things moving on it now. A real exciting opportunity that involves really both your faculty and also long-term benefits for your students as well. So Dr. McIntyre, I want to turn it over to you first just to talk a little bit about this opportunity.
Yes, we have this amazing partnership with Framingham State University where 19 of our faculty members from basically early elementary school all the way through high school are taking advantage of a 5-year master's program. And it's structured a little differently than your traditional master's program because part of the program is the students are actually going to give back to the broader community by providing professional development and other programming as part of the five-year master's program.
That's so great. And so this was part of a big grant program from the United States Department of Education's National Professional Development Program. And so Jen, talk a little bit about what you had to go through. I know this has been a long-term process dating back to last spring, starting to get involved in the grant process. Just kind of take us through the steps of your end of things of putting this together for Milford.
Great. So Dr. Stadler-Chester, the director of the TESOL program at Framingham State University, wanted to apply for the grant. She needed to look to districts within neighboring of Framingham that had a growing English learner student population. She was able to look at all the districts that met the criteria that would be able to partner with Framingham State University. And she reached out to the director of Waltham, Framingham, and also Milford. The three directors, EL directors from each district, along with Dr. Chester Stadler, collaborated in writing the grant. Obviously, more of the grant writing was done at the university level for their programming, but we were given the opportunity to seek teachers who were possibly interested in the TESOL program, but also develop the program together and what we wanted that to look like.
So essentially, this program has allowed for teachers within these other school districts, but obviously Milford specifically, essentially a full scholarship to go forward with a master's degree in teaching English as a second language. Is that correct?
Yes, so the scholarship is covering 50 teachers, full scholarship. 19 of the 50 are coming directly from Milford Public Schools, from pre-K at Shining Star all the way to the high school, Milford High School. The 5-year program covers the admissions fee, all of their registration fees, all their courses, books, online books, So it covers everything. Within the 5 years, there's also workshops that the teachers are responsible for providing, whether that's to teachers or to parents in the community at large, that they will also be provided stipends for their time presenting.
Now, obviously, 19 teachers signed up for the program. I'm imagining this was massively popular amongst the faculty once this opportunity was presented.
Absolutely, and we had more teachers interested than we could provide spaces for, unfortunately. You never know when you have a program like this. You kind of throw an invitation to a party and you hope people accept. And we were overwhelmed by the number of faculty members that were interested, which really speaks to the kind of the dedication to our faculty as a whole. And a number of our teachers already have a master's degree maybe in something else, and they're interested in really pursuing work connected to English learners. Which is awesome.
That's really great. And so a 5-year program. So this will be a part-time program for the teachers. So they'll be able to do this along with obviously still navigating their jobs within the school district. And so just a great opportunity, again for these teachers to be able to continue their education and eventually end up being able to provide a very valuable service to Milford.
I think one of the best parts that you just said is it is part-time, but it's also a cohort. So the teachers are going to be taking, which they have actually already started, the semester has started, so they're taking one course this semester, and they're broken up into 2 different cohorts. Because there's 50, we have cohort A, 25 teachers, and then 25 teachers in cohort B. And so one of the cohorts is teaching English learners with technology, and the other cohort is taking the class second language acquisition, issues in second language acquisition. So we have 2 different cohorts of 2 cohorts that our teachers are included in. And within that cohort, we've grouped them. We had the opportunity to group them thoughtfully. Think about like building capacity across the school district, building partnerships across schools vertically, and also thinking about age developmentally where students are at, and being able to group our teachers that way so that they can work after school when they're finished on any type of readings or coursework that has to be turned in. Yeah.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's obviously a wonderful opportunity for the teachers, but Dr. McIntyre, just the long-term benefits of this, obviously for the student body of Milford and for the community in general, really is enormous.
It's amazing, and when you think about just from a financial perspective, think about what a master's degree costs. You're talking about a benefit to the Milford Public Schools and the Milford community of probably in excess of $500,000. And so I give Jen and the team at Framingham State a lot of credit for putting together this winning grant proposal, because it was a national grant, very competitive, and their proposal kind of was funded, which is amazing. The other piece that and I think Jen alluded to this is the impact on students, because our EL students aren't just in EL classes; they're in all classes.
Sure.
And the more teachers that we have that are focused on kind of the needs of our English learner students, the more it benefits them.
One thing I want to say is, yes, that we have been able to provide an excellent opportunity for our staff, but this was also voluntary. And it really took, like we said, we couldn't offer the scholarship to everyone who applied, and we have a waiting list. And so that part was really hard on our end. We had an in-district application process that we had to develop our own, because Framingham State asked us to provide them the applicants. And one of the requirements for the application process was teachers were required to write a paper on why. Why do they want to do this program? What's the benefit to them, to the benefit of their students and the benefit of the district? And what will be the cause and effect? And what is their vision of themselves as a professional in 5 years when they complete this master's? And wow, is all I can say to what many of the teachers wrote. And I'm really impressed by the staff that we have in Milford Public Schools that want to take time away from their family, time away from just social life, to work beyond the many hours they already work day to day to provide the best education for the students who attend Milford Public Schools.
Already approaching the halfway point in their regular season schedule, the boys basketball team found themselves at a bit of a crossroads. Through their first 9 games, the boys had managed consecutive victories just once. Inconsistent offensive play turned winnable games against King Philip and Foxborough into frustrating losses. All in all, the boys entered Friday's action last week, a 500 team, hoping that their first Friday night home game of the season could serve as a starting point for more consistent results. Let's take a look at how things went down between Milford and Sharon last Friday night. While the Scarlet Hawks went into last Friday night's divisional showdown looking to improve on a 500 record, the Sharon Eagles entered the Milford gym in desperation mode. The Eagles entered the Milford gym at 1-9 overall, with a team defense that had been allowing nearly 65 points a night. Milford would start to exploit Sharon's leaky defense right from the opening tip. On their first possession, the Hawks feed it down low to their trusted big man Caden Kelly, and the senior captain battles through a triple team to take the ball to the hoop. On their next possession, Milford uses smart ball movement to open up Brendan Saylor from three-point range, and his shot would find nothing but net to up the early lead. Milford's defense would immediately force a turnover after the Saylor bucket, and Brendan White would compound the damage with this quick layup off the inbounds pass. Milford would open the game on an impressive 9-0 run to set the tone early, but their offense was not even close to finished putting up points in the opening quarter.
Frioli now, quick pass right on the money to Caden Kelly, and a couple of chances for Kelly, and third time is the charm. To the corner for White, now trying to find a pass partner, sends it all the way across the length of the floor to Colby Pyers, who nails the three. Now Caden Kelly through a double team, count it. And now here's Saylor. Saylor puts it in for 2 more, and Milford up to 23 points.
A dominant first quarter performance for the Hawks offense would lead to a comfortable 13-point lead, but with the home gym rocking, Milford was not ready to ease up on the pressure.
Gets it back to Saylor. Saylor showing good athleticism, now out to Sutherland for 3, and he gets it. Dribbling the perimeter, looking for options. Tries to get it to Fitzhenry, but it's picked off by White. He takes it the other way and gets the easy, uncontested lay-in. He'll get a chance from three-point range here, and there it is again. And the cheers roar from the student section as Cam Falcon gets on the score sheet with 3. And now here's Brendan White. No-look pass outside to Falcon. They'll just keep letting them go from three-point range for Falcon. Doesn't connect, but Andrew Frioli with the bucket.
8 different players would contribute to a simply relentless half of basketball for the Scarlet Hawks. Milford would carry an even 30-point lead into halftime, up 49-19. Coming out of the break, Sharon needed to find something to spark them after a disastrous first half, and they would find that spark in the play of senior Jimmy Fitzhenry. Fitzhenry would pull up for a quick bucket here off the opening minute of the third. Then after a Milford turnover, Fitzhenry would release from long range, dropping in a perfect 3-point shot to put Sharon on an early 5-0 run to start the second half. Later in the third, it's the senior Lester High getting the feed out on the wing, and High would connect on a 3 to inch Sharon a little closer. It was an impressive third quarter response from Sharon as they outscore Milford 22-11, capped off by one last 3-ball from Fitzhenry to cut Milford's lead down to 19 heading into the fourth quarter. Things would continue to get uncomfortable for the Milford fans as the fourth quarter got underway. An early 3-pointer knockdown by Alex Kaufman would help keep momentum on Sharon's side. Now watch this sequence from the Eagles. It starts on the defensive end where Lorquette blocks the shot from Sutherland. Alex Kaufman then quickly carries the ball up the floor in transition before feeding it outside to Fitzhenry, who keeps the outside shooting game red hot for the Eagles. Then with just under 6 minutes left to play, Lester High takes the ball the length of the floor, and despite taking contact from Joey DeMarco, High still gets his shot to fall, cutting the once 30-point Milford lead down to just 13. Finally, Milford would start to push back from there. First, it was Brendan Saylor with a long bounce pass right on the money to Andrew Frioli, who would elevate over Malik Lorquette for the bucket. Then right off the ensuing inbounds, Caden Kelly would create the steal, and then it's DeMarco with a nice pass to Saylor, who puts it in to make it 4 quick points for the Hawks. Credit Sharon for making things interesting in the second half, but the outcome of this one was never in doubt. Milford earns their second straight Davenport Division victory as they go on to defeat Sharon by a final score of 77-59. girls' team was also able to take care of business against their Sharon counterparts, finishing off a 3-0 week for the Lady Hawks. The girls would have another 3-game week this past week, starting off with a tough battle against Oliver Ames.
With Oliver Ames coming to town, fans would have a chance to see the top 2 scorers in the Hockomock League go toe-to-toe. Milford's Kate Irwin entered the night number 2 in scoring, averaging 18.5 points per game, while Oliver Ames senior captain Kayla Raymond, thanks to back-to-back 30-plus point games last week, took over the top spot among Hawk scorers, averaging a whopping 21 points per game. The question on everyone's mind was which of these gifted scorers would start to make an impact on the game first. That question would be answered just about 60 seconds into the first quarter, when a quick release on a shot from the far wing would give Raymond her first points of the night and would give Oliver Ames an early lead. We'd see almost the exact play about 2 minutes later. This time Raymond would release the shot with her foot on the line, making it a long 2. On Milford's next possession, Emily Pierre-Gustavo would get stripped underneath the basket, and OA would find their top scorer ahead on the break, and Raymond would lay it in for 2 more. Kayla Raymond would score 7 of the Tigers' first 9 points on the night. The struggles on defense would start to impact Milford on the offensive side of the floor as the first quarter went on. A series of turnovers would give OA a chance to build up a 15-point lead by the end of the opening 8 minutes. Trailing 20-5 heading into the second quarter, Milford would start to show signs of turning things around. It would start with Jess Tomaso, who would avoid the steal attempt by Allie Skolnick, and that would give her an open lane to the basket to get 2. Then after a scoreless first quarter, Kate Irwin would finally get rolling as she knocks down the 3 from the far wing. And then later in the second, watch as the ball squirts loose under the OA basket. Kate Lobiser dives to the floor and manages to get a pass away to Kate, who pushes the other way before sending a pass to Tomaso, who finishes with the layup to put Milford on a 7-0 run, cutting the deficit to 8. But with momentum starting to turn, Kayla Raymond would put a stop to it quickly, notching her second 3 of the half to reestablish a double-digit Tiger lead. That shot would end up touching off another offensive surge for Oliver Ames. The Lady Tigers would completely take over, scoring 11 straight and finishing out the half on a 15-3 run. The visitors would cruise into the locker rooms up 35-16 on Milford. Milford's offense would continue to pick up in the third quarter, but defensively the Lady Hawks could not come up with stops, and with 3 minutes and 24 seconds to play in the quarter, Milford would be staring up at a 20-point deficit. A few seconds later, a layup by Tomaso led to a 3-point play opportunity. Tigers head coach Elaine Clement Holbrook would then make the decision to give her top scoring duo of Raymond and Alex Sheldon a rest. Milford would quickly seize on that opportunity, putting up 5 unanswered points to finally breathe some life into the crowd. Both teams would continue to battle heading into the fourth quarter. Here, a scrum for the loose ball at center court would lead to an easy layup for Alex Sheldon to put OA back up by 13. But Milford was still not ready to give in. Outside now to Tracy, and Tracy knocks down the 3. And Coach Dolliver pumped up on the sidelines as the pass goes long on the other end of the floor. Milford will take over.
Seconds later, a free throw from Jess Tomaso would cut the Oliver Ames lead down to single digits. As the teams headed down the final stretch, Milford would have several chances to cut further into the OA lead, but a few costly misses from outside would keep it a 9-point game, and in the closing seconds, the Tigers would produce some late points to put the game out of reach. It was Kayla Raymond's Tigers who would get the better of Kate Irwin and the Lady Hawks on this night. OA takes the game by a final score of 60-45. Despite the loss, Kate Irwin turned in another strong offensive performance, notching 16 points. That placed Kate's career point total up to 968, leaving her 32 points shy of becoming just the second female athlete in Milford High School history to reach 1,000 points. The girls were back on their home floor on Thursday night against Norwood High School. How close could Kate come to achieving her milestone moment? Let's go back to the highlights. The march toward 1,000 career points continued for Kate Irwin as the girls started night 1 of back-to-backs to close out the week. With a road game looming on Friday, Kate would need to set a new career high for points scored in a single game to achieve the milestone on her home floor. Meanwhile, Milford would go up against a Norwood team that was ready to defend the Lady Hawks scoring leader. The Lady Mustangs would keep Kate off balance with tight physical defense through the first quarter, resulting in just a single bucket for Irwin over the opening 8 minutes. It would be a light-scoring quarter overall, with the teams tied at 8 apiece heading into the second. Norwood would continue to pose a major challenge to Milford in that second quarter. Here they're able to outwork the Lady Hawks for the rebound, and as the Mustangs pushed ahead in transition, they would eventually hit Catherine Ryan, who would convert on the other end of the floor to send her team into a 4-point lead. Then, with Milford trying to get back into it, watch here off the Pierre Gustavo miss. Kate goes for the rebound and again takes hard contact from the Norwood D, but no foul would be called on the play. Kate Irwin and her team would continue to look frustrated on the floor through the remainder of the second quarter, and that would give Norwood the opportunity to maintain a lead. Eventually, the teams would hit the break with the Lady Mustangs up 26-21. With Milford looking out of sync and Kate Irwin notching just 9 first-half points, it seemed the chances of a 1,000-point celebration inside the Milford gym were slim. With Norwood still in front with just over 5 minutes to go in the third, Kate would put up a contested 3. She would go down again due to contact, but the officials would not rule the foul. From there, Norwood would learn a very valuable lesson: do not make Kate Irwin angry.
To say the least, some questionable officiating, but perhaps some poetic justice there as Tommaso gets another steal, and the result a layup for Kate Irwin, and just more energy pumped in to this Milford crowd.
Kate would erupt for 13 points in a third quarter, where Milford turned a 5-point deficit into a 17-point lead. With the milestone now just 10 points away, Kate Irwin would simply refuse to be denied.
Back to Irwin now. Gets around a defender and grabs the bucket. The ball taken to the basket by Megan Giambanco. Now quickly ahead to Kate. Here's the layup. Good for 2. Still putting the pressure on. Irwin able to get the steal. Here she goes the other way, off of contact, gets the shot and the foul. 59-42, 2.5 minutes to play as Kate again slows the pace. Leisurely dribbles around midcourt. Now will release the 3 and knocks it home. Kate with 3. And the milestone now just a single point away. You can see the entire bench raising just a single finger to let Kate know she's just 1 point away from achieving the milestone with 2 minutes to go. Can Kate knock down one more shot? Has the ball in her hands here, trying to break away to the basket, and not enough, but she gets fouled, and Kate will have 2 opportunities to achieve immortality at the free throw line. Everyone in the Milford gym absolutely on the edge of their seats. Kate with a couple of dribbles. And there it is! Kate Irwin becomes the second Milford female athlete to achieve the milestone. Kate Irwin, 1,000 points for her high school career. 32 points on the night, a career high for Kate, and an incredible achievement for a truly gifted Milford High School student athlete.
After a frustrating first half, Kate Irwin would pour in 24 second-half points. She would finish with a new career-high 33 in all, and the home crowd would have a chance to celebrate their newest member of the 1,000-point club. Milford would go on to win the game by a final score of 67-42. After the game, we caught up with the Milford star.
Of course, here with the player of the night, the newest edition of the 1,000-point scorers club, Kate Irwin. Kate, talk to me a little bit about what this season has been like for you. Have you felt the pressure knowing that you were close to this milestone?
Every game I tried not to think about it. I didn't go into the game, thinking, I got to score this many to get 1,000. I just went in and tried to score just to help my team win, and it just so happened that, it added up, and tonight was a night. And going into, the fourth quarter, I didn't think I was 10 points away. I thought I was like 20 points away. So that was pretty cool, getting it was really, really cool.
You looked a little uncomfortable at times early on in the game. It seemed like they were playing a lot of physical defense against you. And something kind of clicked in that third quarter. Was there something that changed for you mentality-wise that allowed you to go on that roll in the third quarter and into the fourth?
Yeah, well, they were playing pretty tough defense on me, and the coach told me to not worry about it and just like play my game. And if they foul me, don't worry about it. And I got them off of me, and and it's just pretty cool. I thought, yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry.
You're only the second female athlete in school history to reach 1,000 points. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot, and it means a lot that Jenna Mackey, the other one, was here tonight, and she got to see me score 1,000, and I got a picture with her, and so that was great. I was really happy that she was here.
What did it mean to you to have the chance to share that moment with your parents at center court after you got that final shot?
It meant so much. Like I really wanted to get my 1,000 at home because I knew I was going to get this year, but I wanted it to be at home. I didn't want it to be away, so I really stepped up my game, and to be able to meet my parents at center court and get a picture with them and give them a hug and a kiss was really special.
How do you move forward now in the rest of the season, now knowing that this is in the rearview mirror?
We just keep going. I mean, it's a team effort, and we just got to keep playing aggressive, playing good on defense, offense, and we'll get a lot of good wins, get to the playoffs. It'll be fun.
1,000 career points.
Yeah.
Kate, enjoy it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
A truly special accomplishment for a standout student athlete. Congratulations to Kate Irwin, the newest member of the exclusive 1,000 Point Scorers Club. Both the boys and girls teams still have much more work to do as they get deeper into their second half schedules. We'll continue to keep you updated on both teams here on The Informer next week. That is going to do it for this week's show. Don't forget to check out the premiere of the Italian-American Baseball Family over at Milford High School on Saturday at 4 p.m. Thank you as always for tuning in, and from all of us here at Milford TV, this is Tim Coet saying have a great week. So long, everybody.